Hello and welcome to glittershinenails. I recently purchased the Spring Garden set of stamping plates that Born Pretty recently released, and in this video I'll be swatching and reviewing the first 3. As always, you can find where I purchased them from in the description box below. Before we get started, please subscribe to my channel and make sure you have the bell notification turned on, and please also like this video. These really do help out my channel, thank you. So I have my usual scraper and my Nail Artisan Tiffany Duo Clear Stamper. I have 6 coloured nail tips and I'll be taking 2 swatches from each plate. And I'll be starting with Spring Garden L001. I'm going to take 2 swatches from the same image, but each will be different just by turning the stamper. I have a burgundy nail tip and a pearl white stamping polish. Now I'm not going to cover the whole image as it's not needed. Now I could have gotten a slightly better scrape on the image, but it looks stunning though. So with the next swatch I'm going to use a yellow nail tip and a red stamping polish, and I'll be covering the whole image this time as I don't really know which part I'm going to use. And what I'll do is I'll turn the stamper around into different positions and then stamp, just finding which one looks the best. And when I put the 2 swatches together, they are 2 very different swatches from the same image, and they both look stunning. Moving on to Spring Garden L002, and for this swatch I'm going to be using a pink nail tip along with a purple stamping polish. I've used this image in my mani because it's just so pretty, but it would also look really stunning with some added colour into that swan, and it fills the nail tip really well. For my second swatch I'll be using a nude nail tip along with a dark brown stamping polish. When I first saw this image I couldn't quite figure out what it was meant to be. Was it a cat or was it something else? But I'm gonna go that I think it's a tiger, but again I could be wrong. But you could colour him in as well and he would look great. On to Spring Garden L003, and for the first swatch I'm going to use a green nail tip along with a teal stamping polish. Now when I was working out my nail tips and polishes, I didn't know if this combo would look good, but I think it does. And I will definitely be trying this with a much bigger design. For the last swatch I'm going to use a light blue nail tip along with a white stamping polish, and just like this last image I am removing the excess. Now I am using more clear jelly stamper polishes at the moment as it's really quite warm here in the UK. So because they dry slower, it means that I can work better with them, not having the image dry on the stamper, which is a pain. And then here they are all together. So let's move on to the photo swatches and manis that I've created from these Born Pretty Spring Garden stamping plates. Spring Garden L001. There is 8 super large floral designs. Now what I've done is the same as in the video. I've taken 2 swatches from each image, but one is as you see the design on the plate, and the other I've turned the stamper into a different direction. Now some, I will admit, do look the same, but they are different when you look closer. But they are some absolutely stunning designs and will make some awesome spring and summer manis. I've used the Tiffany Duo Clear Stamper for these swatches and I love how they've turned out. I will be honest, when I first saw this plate I was like, 8 images on one plate. I will admit I was slightly disappointed by that. But then I had another look and that's when I thought about turning the stamper for different swatches. I will say that I'm loving the sets that are coming out, like the Spring Garden and the Mandala one as well, but also from other brands like Nicole Diary. They're inexpensive stamping plates which are really good quality and that anyone can use. For the mani, I've used a peachy coloured nail polish and a plum stamping polish. I've never used this colour combo on myself, but I love it. I've used two different images. Now the image that is on my thumb, middle and pinky finger, what I've done is I've turned the stamp around differently on each of them. But I love this mani. Spring Garden L002 has 12 animal designs. Again, I've used the Tiffany Duo stamper. Now I did wonder why these images were in a set called Spring Garden, but there's some really nice images though. There are a couple like the butterfly, the dog, the swan, tiger and rabbit, which you could easily add some colour into and they would look really cool. Now I was concerned about the size of these images fitting onto nails. If you have teeny tiny nails, you might have some trouble getting the image onto your nail. But hopefully when you see my mani, you'll see how they did fit my nails really well. Even my pinky, it was missing a little bit from the top and the bottom, but most of it was there. But you could maybe shrink these down to fit. But I really like these designs. I was trying to think if I had anything in my collection like this, and I can actually only think of one stamping plate that I own like this. So it is nice to see something very different. For the mani, I've used a coral coloured nail polish and added a shimmery polish over the top, and then I've stamped in red. I've used the butterfly and the swan images, and I really like it. It's something a bit different, and hopefully this will show you how big these designs are on my nails. There is a little missing, as I said, from the pinky at the top and the bottom. Spring Garden L003 is an absolute stunning plate. There is 17 designs in total, and again I've used the Tiffany Duo stamper. I did wonder if I could use my smaller stamper, but I thought they might not fit very well. I love images like this. My freehand skill is 0, and I love to use these in some manis that I've done before. So having a plate like this is brilliant. I do have a few already like this, but I don't have images like this one. One thing I did notice when swatching was a few like the three in the middle. I actually had some trouble getting them to swatch completely. They're really finely engraved. So it's definitely one that I'm wanting to have a plate around with, trying different polishes and stampers when it's not so hot. I will be bringing the other two from the Spring Garden collection to my channel very, very soon, but it's definitely a collection I highly recommend. Some absolutely stunning designs and all quite unique in design as well. Other than these that were a little tricky to swatch, just like any other Born Pretty stamping plate, they're really easy to use. For the mani, I went for a matte green nail polish and I've used a white stamping polish. I often don't do matte nails. I've used a different image on each nail other than my index and ring finger, but again hopefully this will show you how long and wide these images are. But I love this mani. It just was really easy to create and it just flew. Love it. All of my swatches will be over on my Instagram page, along with the manis that I've created and what products I've used in the next few days. There is a link in the description box below. Thank you for viewing my swatch review on these 3 Born Pretty Spring Garden stamping plates. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Comment below. I love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button and share. Also, don't forget to come over and follow me on my Instagram page at glittershinenails. So until next time, happy stamping and bye.